What's going on, everyone? Welcome into NBA Now. I'm your host, Harris Rubenstein. We're the NBA version of Mike's Super Short Show today. We're going to be going through a couple of NBA rumors. Then later, I asked for your guys' questions for our NBA mailbag, so we'll be going over those as soon as we get through a couple of the top headlines. Let's give you guys an update of what's going on with Jimmy Butler. I have not slept in 4 days. You're tearing me apart, Jimmy. Literally. I've been waiting for this trade since Monday. It was supposed to happen before T-Wolves Media Day. That didn't happen. It was supposed to happen right after T-Wolves Media Day. That didn't happen. And then Chris Sheridan reported last night that Jimmy Butler was going to get traded by the end of the day yesterday, and that also didn't happen. So for now, we're just kind of waiting for Jimmy Butler to end up getting traded. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's absolutely going to happen at some point either this week or this weekend. But as of right now, the Miami Heat have been the team that's been most aggressive so far for Jimmy Butler. Now, this trade is turning into a huge cluster. I'm talking a 4-team trade could end up being the pinnacle for this Jimmy Butler situation. So, all in all, it seems that the Kings want to get involved in the Jimmy Butler trade. It seems that the Suns want to get involved in the Jimmy Butler trade. The Heat are still poking around as well, waiting for Tom Thibodeau to actually get to his senses in terms of actually trading Jimmy Butler. But for now, the overall census around the NBA is that everyone is kind of frustrated because Tom Thibodeau is giving no bearings over whether or not any of the deals that teams are offering are any good. And then we get the report this morning that the T-Wolves are looking for a king's ransom for Jimmy Butler. They want good veteran players, they want elite young prospects, and they want draft picks plus cap relief. So they basically want the great, holy trinity of trade packages for Jimmy Butler, which isn't too surprising seeing as that's what they gave up initially for Jimmy Butler. But at this time, it is highly unlikely that they end up with some massive trade package for Jimmy Butler. We're so close to the start of the season. Everyone kind of knows what they wanted their rosters or their lineups to look like already. So if Jimmy Butler is going to get dealt, it's probably going to be for about 50% of what the Timberwolves traded for him originally, which was, a young player that they already had, 2 first-round picks, plus a veteran contract on there as well. So I highly doubt that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to get that back for Jimmy Butler. But let me know in the comment section below, where will Jimmy Butler get traded? I think it's Miami. It should be the Brooklyn Nets, but I don't think the Miami Heat are a bad destination at all for Jimmy Butler. He'll get to play with his good buddy Dwayne Wade. Just please, Jimmy Butler, please do not try to sleep with Gabriel Union. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Like, you already messed everything up with Karl Anthony Towns. You're already leaving shady comments on her Instagram. No Gabriel Union for you, Jimmy Butler. Let's go to our next piece of news here. Kyrie Irving already looks fantastic. So yesterday we got our first clips from the Celtics 5-on-5 practice that they were doing. So this was from the last game that the Celtics had played all day. They've apparently been running scrimmages. So Kyrie Irving ended up with the last shot on this one. So here you go. You see Aaron Baines in the block. I don't know what he's doing taking a terrible shot there. Nice defense from Al Horford. But Irving's going to bring the ball up. About 5 seconds left on the clock. Going to just dribble around and wait. This is what we saw Kyrie Irving do when he's healthy, and this is what he does in practice. The end of the first practice of the year for the Celtics. Kyrie Irving hits a buzzer beater 3 to win the game for his scrimmage team. He looks healthy. He looks really good. That knee looks fully healthy. Looked like he got great extension on that shot as well. Look, he's been all over the Boston Celtics to start this season so far. He keeps talking up the team, talking up the organization, talking up the coaching staff as well, talking a lot about how he doesn't really want to leave, and he can understand the rumors that are going on with the Knicks, but that he only really wants to play in Boston, and say that this is basically too good of a situation for him to leave right now. So the more and more we get into this Kyrie Irving situation, the more and more it seems that Kyrie is going to end up staying with Boston. Let's go to our Rudy Gobert piece of news here. During Jazz Media Day, he actually had a pretty interesting quote about ring chasing, maybe even taking a shot at Gordon Hayward. He said, quote, "I take a lot of pride of when you build something. I'd rather do it the hard way than do it the easy way. It's not just getting a ring, because if I want to get a ring, I just go to the jewelry store and get a ring." So this is kind of one of the more first public statements that we're getting from an NBA star about the concept of ring chasing. We've gotten them in the past, but coming from a guy like Rudy Gobert, who is really what's the word I'm looking for here, who has really committed himself to the Utah Jazz. This is an interesting quote. It really is, because we had Gordon Hayward help get the Jazz to the playoffs, help reignite that franchise, and then leave to go to Boston. Now, obviously, the first season for him didn't end up going the way he planned, but all in all, it was a big-time hit for the Utah Jazz. However, they did end up making the playoffs last year. Donovan Mitchell was a revelation for them. But let me know, if you played in the NBA, would you chase a ring? Give me an A for yes, give me a B for no. I would do what David West did. I would go my whole career, try to play, the best basketball I can. And then once I get to an older age, maybe the last couple years of my career, I'll end up going on a team that I can maybe be a bench player for and get a ring that way. But all in all, I don't think I would do it in the prime of my career. I care too much about what my public perception would be. I'm not like Kevin Durant, who just randomly doesn't care or acts like he doesn't care, but actually does care. I don't want to be that weird. But what isn't weird is FanDuel. Head to FanDuel.com/chatsports. Want to thank them for sponsoring today's show. They're giving us a great deal here at Chat Sports. If you deposit $5, you can end up with $25 because they will give you $20 free with your first deposit. So head to FanDuel.com/chatsports. It's a fantastic deal. I use FanDuel. Everyone at Chat Sports uses FanDuel. And once basketball season comes around, I will be hosting weekly games for us to play with. I'm big into fantasy basketball, so I'm hoping to kick your guys' butts this season. Let's go into a little LeBron news here. He was asked a very interesting question from a Lakers reporter about earning respect and loyalty from Lakers fans. He said, quote, "I signed a 4-year deal. What more can I do?" Welcome to Los Angeles, LeBron. Seriously, welcome to LA. This isn't Cleveland anymore. You're not just going to get random softball questions every single week. I understand he's been followed by the national media for his entire career. This is different. Local media from Cleveland to LA is completely 100% different. Actually, it's not even 100% different. It's 1,000% different. This is a whole new animal for LeBron James. He better be ready to answer a question like this for the rest of the time that he's in Los Angeles. This is all he's going to get, or just questions about him in Los Angeles or comparing him to Kobe. This is all he's going to hear for his time in LA. So get used to it, LeBron. Let's go to our Carmelo Anthony piece of news here. So we talked about his comments at NBA Media Day about wanting to come, or about being willing to come off the bench. And we got a report yesterday that that is indeed the Rockets' plan. Carmelo Anthony will come off the bench for the Houston Rockets and be their sixth man. And that will vault Eric Gordon into the starting five for the Houston Rockets. So Chris Paul, James Harden, Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, and Clint Capella right now looks like the opening night starting five for the Houston Rockets. Now, I think you're going to see Carmelo Anthony be in there during crunch time minutes. I think their crunch time lineup will end up being Chris Paul, James Harden, Eric Gordon, Melo, plus Clint Capella. But during a normal game, Carmelo Anthony is going to be the sixth man for the Houston Rockets. Great move by Mike D'Antoni. This is exactly what they should do. Keep it up. The more and more that the Rockets continue to go through this offseason, the more and more I listen to what they're talking about in their strategy for this year, the more my excitement for the Houston Rockets has been reignited. Though it's probably not going to matter because DeMarcus Cousins might already start practicing with the Warriors in a few weeks, and he says that he's already in the best shape of his life, and he hasn't even started practicing with the Warriors yet. I'm a little worried that this DeMarcus Cousins rehab situation is going to make him come back as a better basketball player than he was before. DeMarcus Cousins is a very vengeful person. Very vengeful. Like, when people doubt him, he always comes back and just dominates. And I'm worried that this year, with all the doubt that he's getting and all the hate that he's getting, that DeMarcus Cousins is going to come back and just rip people apart. So I'm worried, and I want to know from you guys, with Boogie healthy, are the Warriors the best team ever? I mean, I think so. Absolutely. And BetDSI is giving us title odds of minus 300, which is ridiculous. They've been minus 300 now for a couple months. That is insane. This is for the NBA title. And by the way, head to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code LIVE120 if you want to put down some money on the Warriors to win the title this year. You'll probably win some money too. It's pretty easy. Title odds there, minus 300. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys think the Warriors are the best team ever. Let's now go to a little Lakers news. Apparently, Rajon Rondo might start the season at point guard for the Lakers since Lonzo Ball is still recovering from that knee injury. The real question is, what do the Lakers do when Lonzo Ball is finally healthy? It does seem like the Lakers are very excited to have Rondo around. They've been talking him up as if he's some sort of top 10 point guard, which he used to be, isn't anymore. But I think that Rondo will fit in nicely into any lineup the Lakers use him in. He has a very similar skill set to Lonzo Ball. Or I guess Lonzo has a similar skill set to Rajon Rondo. I'll give him the veteran courtesy there. Another rumor here. Kyle Lowry has apparently been pretty hard to find, which isn't hugely surprising seeing as they traded away his best friend on the team, DeMar DeRozan. But apparently Lowry's been dodging calls from the Raptors leadership, from Nick Nurse, the head coach, from Masai Ujiri, the GM. Apparently, Lowry only spoke to Kawhi Leonard the first time at Raptors Media Day 2 days ago. Look, I understand that Kyle Lowry is kind of in a weird state right now with him trading away DeMar DeRozan and him not really having, him having a worse season last year than they did the year before with the big pressure of the contract, but they need Kyle Lowry to be on board if they're going to make a run in the finals. Kyle Lowry is one of the best point guards in the NBA. He made our top 10 list for a reason. One of the best two-way guards in the NBA today. He's got to be on board if they want to make a run at an NBA Finals. Let's go to our last rumor here. Well, actually, it's a piece of news, and one of the funniest quotes that I think that I've heard all offseason. Tyronn Lue with maybe the #1 loser quote of the NBA offseason so far, saying, quote, "It's not about wins or losses, it's about wins and lessons." Tyronn, you got about 5 or 6 players on your team that are age 32 or older. None of them care about lessons. None of them care. They are in the backside of their careers trying to make one more run at the playoffs. Most of this team is going to end up getting traded by the deadline, and you're talking about wins and lessons? You have 3 young players on your whole team that are worth a damn. Don't be talking about wins and lessons. Talking about how are you guys going to make it to the playoffs this year without LeBron James and the best player on your team being Kevin Love. This always goes back to my theory that Tyronn Lue is just not a very good NBA head coach, and LeBron James can cover up for a lot of shenanigans. And if this is the kind of shenanigans that he's going to pull with LeBron James gone, the Cavs are in big, big trouble